Have you ever found yourself signing up for subscriptions or buying things you don't really need? Chances are you have been influenced by persuasive sales tactics or clever advertising. It happens to the best of us because influence taps into the ways our brains work. But what if you understand these techniques and use them for yourself? Let's dive into fascinating psychology of influence and discover how it shapes our decisions. So, our brain takes shortcuts. Picture this: a mother turkey tends to loving to her chicks, recognizing them to by their distinctive cheep sound. Scientists discovered that if the stuffed predator like polecat made the same sound, the turkey would care for it too. Odd as it may seem, humans also rely on mental shortcuts to make quick decisions in a fast paced world full of overwhelming information. These mental shortcuts or automatic reactions often help us, like reacting swiftly to danger, but they also make us vulnerable to manipulation, especially by salespeople and marketers. Understanding the six principles of influences: reciprocation, consistency, social proof, authority, liking, and scarcity can empower you to make better choices in today's complex world. First one: reciprocation, the urge to return favors. Imagine sending Christmas cards to random strangers and receiving cards back. A professor once did this, proving that humans feel compelled to return favors. This principle, rooted in our evolutionary need to share resources, can be exploited. For example, the Hare Krishna movement mastered this by handing out small gifts, flowers, or books before asking for donation. The guilt of receiving free items makes people more likely to comply. Similarly, a nightclub drink might lead someone to feel obliged to engage with the buyer. And here is a defensive tip: you can recognize these manipulative gifts for what they are, sales tactics, and don't let guilt dictate your actions. Number 2, consistency, the power of commitment. Humans strive to act consistently with their previous commitments, even when it goes against their better judgment. For instance, in a beach experiment, people who were asked to watch someone's belongings were far more likely to intervene in a theft than those who weren't asked. Salespersons exploit them by starting a small request, like signing up a petition, before making larger demands. In one study, homeowners who agreed to display a small sign supporting a cause later agreed to install a giant ugly billboard in their yard because it is aligned with their initial commitment. And here is the defensive tip: don't let small arguments or agreements snowball into obligations that go against your own interests. Third one, social proof, following the crowd. Ever laughed at a joke in a TV show simply because of a laugh track? That's the principle of social proof at work. When uncertain, we look to others to decide how to behave. Advertisers exploit this by claiming products are best selling or fast ever growing. Even tragic phenomena like weather effect shows that dangers. Suicide rates spike following publicized suicide stories because people mimic the actions of others. The defensive tip here is: in emergencies, don't assume others will act. Take charge and assign the task, like asking someone specific to call for help. Number 4, liking, the halo effect. We are more likely to say yes to people we like or find attractive. This principle fuels everyone for Tupperware parties, where friends benefit from your purchases, to border biases like halo effect, where attractiveness leads us to trust someone more. Even authority figures benefit from this. In Milgram's infamous experiment, participants administered that they thought were dangerous electronic shock simply because an authoritative figure told them to. Styles, uniform, and appearances can powerfully sway us. And here is a defensive tip: ask yourself if authority figure or likable person truly deserves your trust or compliance. Number 5, scarcity, the fear of missing out. Have you ever rushed to buy something because the sale ends soon or only few items left? This is a scarcity taps into fear of losing out and marketing products seem more valuable. And defensive tip here is: pause and question your motives. Do you want that item because it's rare or because it's genuinely useful? Influence is everywhere, but it does not have to control you. By understanding this principle and recognizing, you can play against influence.